Get your ears wrapped around the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast. All the scoop you need to know, from college basketball to the NBA and even March Madness. News of your rising stars, topics on and off the hardwood. This is the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast.
Welcome to the GSMC Basketball Podcast with your favorite host, Ryan Holloway, on this beautiful Wednesday before Christmas. I want to give you guys a slight heads up and let you know that I will be taking a week off to enjoy the holidays. I hope that you enjoy your Christmas. We got a great game slate coming up. I'm going to review that with you on today's show, give you the games that are going to be played on Christmas. We're going to talk about Kobe a little bit. I am also going to talk about the injury bug, give you a game of the night, a pick of the night, and this day in history in the NBA 40 years ago. Again, happy holidays. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Love, your favorite host, Ryan Holloway. Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast with your favorite host, Ryan Holloway. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We are midway through the week. It is almost Christmas. I'm hoping that you guys have gotten all your Christmas shopping done, but if you have not, it's okay, because I'm not one to judge, because a lot of mine is not done either. So if I were you, I would get that done, because you don't want to be watching these NBA games, the special Christmas Day lineup, while someone's giving you a look across the room like, hey, why are you wearing brand new shoes, but you didn't get me a gift for Secret Santa? You had one job, dude. You had one job, and that was to get me a gift. You didn't get me a gift for Secret Santa. Now you got someone across the room giving you that special look. But I'm going to give you guys the Christmas preview a little bit later. Well, I'm going to give you the Christmas preview on Friday, but I will tell you the lineup, though, just so you do know. We got Philly versus New York. Hopefully Joel Embid's back is good by then, because I do want to see a Joel Embid versus Porzingis matchup that morning. We got Cleveland versus Golden State, of course. We got Boston versus the Wizards, of course. We got Houston versus OKC. That should be a star-studded matchup with a lot of buckets. Then we got Minnesota versus the Lakers. Hopefully everyone can go ahead and gain that new appreciation for the Minnesota Timberwolves that I've been talking about throughout this time, because the Minnesota Timberwolves are nice. They get buckets. You guys should watch them. They just don't have any loud all-stars. They don't have anyone on there that's like, ah! They just have, they have low-key players. They have Wiggs. They got Jimmy Buckets. They got Teague. And they got Cat. They got the Cat man, Karl Anthony Towns. And they're real low-key. They keep it smooth. They don't make a lot of noise. But on the standings, they're making a lot of noise. This is where we're at right now. I need to tell you guys something. If you're concerned about not having all your gifts ordered, that's okay. That's completely fine. You want to know why? Because thanks to technology, we have had our laziness enhanced, increased, promoted, and the internet is a strong proponent of us being incredibly lazy, outstandingly lazy. I was on Amazon.com last night. I was ordering something, and they said, hey, do you want this by Thursday? Order it in a couple hours. How are you guys going to get this to my house in a couple hours? And I get it. There's an Amazon warehouse somewhere. They hired somebody to drive around and drop things off, so they don't have to depend on, other shipping providers. But it's just amazing to me that I can go on the internet, and I can push a button, and someone can ring my doorbell, which I think is kind of made for laziness, but it's better than going to the store, right? Because, who wants to deal with that? Go to the store, mess around, get injured, twist your ankle like Steph, or hurt your back like Joel Embid. Let me get to that. Wait. Before I get Joel Embid, here's this thing. Let me acknowledge something. On Monday night, we said goodbye to a legend for the second time. Kobe gave a speech when he played his last game, and said Mamba out after he's dropped 60 on the Jazz, which was cool. And then this time they retired his number, and he retired his numbers and gave another speech. Magic Johnson quoted Kobe as being the greatest Laker of all time. Now I started thinking about it. I was like, the greatest Laker of all time, Kobe Bryant. Now, when I think about that, I'm like, I was trying to just process it, think about it a little bit. And I'm like, Now, I was thinking about Lakers, thinking about Kareem, Magic, James Worthy, Wilt. Thinking about Lakers, AC Green, Byron Scott, Shaq. Just thinking about Lakers. And I'm like, you know what? I think Magic Johnson's right. Kobe Bryant probably is the greatest Laker of all time. Maybe based on what Magic Johnson does with the Lakers, there might be maybe a competitive, maybe there might be a slight battle with that, maybe, just because Magic was a great Laker too. Honestly, he was a solid Laker, and he won a bunch of chips. But when it comes to Kobe's longevity, 20 years in the game, it's a long time. It's a long time to be playing ball for the exact same team. And he's got these different eclipses in his career too. I mean, I'm not necessarily old enough to tell you about Michael Jordan's off time and him coming back. All I remember really is him being something outstanding on the court. And then when he left, my older brother was really sad. And then when he was going to come back, my brother was like, yo, I saw Scottie Pippen pointing at his shoes saying he's coming back. That means Michael Jordan's coming back. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Michael Jordan came back. And when I got really, really into basketball, I want to say it was Michael Jordan's last 2 seasons. And I was like, this dude, why does he look like he plays differently than everyone else? I don't really understand how he's how is he so much better? I didn't get it. It was weird to me. So I can't really speak on Michael on this comparison. Let me know if I'm wrong. You guys can let me know if I'm wrong. But when it comes to Kobe, it feels like we have these different halves of his career, because MJ won 3 chips and then was like, I don't want to play anymore. Then he came back, went to a playoff, lost to Shaq in the playoffs, and then changed from 45 to 23, then won 3 championships again. So we do have the rookie MJ back in the day who was smack on everybody, averaging 30 before Phil Jackson came. Then we have that Michael Jordan. But with Kobe, we got these 3 rings. Then we have a slight hiatus from greatness, even though he was still getting buckets, scoring 81. But they had to rebuild the team. He had to regroup. Yo, you guys are gonna trade me or get me some players. What's going on? I don't like it. You guys need to fix this. Which was completely understandable, right? We have these situations where we have fans or critics complain about these alleged super teams, right? But Kobe said, I'll leave. I'll shake unless you guys figure this out. Somehow, some way, they got Paul Gasol. Paul Gasol, future Hall of Famer, averaged about 18 points while playing with Kobe, 2 championships. And that's what you got to do sometimes, right? I think a lot of these GMs feel like, hey, we got this great player and he likes where he's at. He likes being a star. So as far as getting anyone else or making a trade, we don't got to worry about that. And that's how you lose the LeBron Jameses of the world. And that's how you lose the Kevin Durants, by not bringing anybody else in to help him get buckets. And you lose them. Anyway, so we have this thing where Kobe was like, hey, I need you guys to give me some players. They bring in some players. I mean, they bring in Lamar Odom. They bring in Paul Gasol. They bring in Ariza, right? And they win 2 championships with his new number. He plays almost the same amount of games with his new number. He wears each number for about 10 years. The assists, the rebounds, the points in games played, if you look at the numbers, they're not that far off from each other. So he's got these 2 different parts of him, which are still both really great. And I feel like it's something we won't ever see again, which makes him, in my opinion, a little bit more unique than Michael Jordan. I think Kobe's 20-year career to be great, to come in the league with a lot of hype and then develop better than anyone thought he was going to be. Like LeBron, the hype for LeBron was huge, right? But I don't think anyone ever imagined LeBron, scoring 20,000 points by the time he was 33 years old and having 3 championships on 2 different teams and going to the finals 7 straight years. I don't think anyone saw that. So for Kobe to meet the expectations and then, lose his players, lose his coach, and then still stay strong on that team, and then weather the storm, and then for them to send him the coach back that the organization didn't want, and to get him players, and then he wins again, I think that's great. I feel like, I honestly believe, I think when we compare music to athletes, I know Jay-Z compares himself very often to Michael Jordan. Mike Jordan, the rap. Come back, we're in the 4-5. Ain't to play games with you, it's to aim at you, probably maim you. You know, Jay-Z. But I think we can compare Kobe's career more to Jay-Z's. Why? Because they're both in the game for 20 years. Like, Jay-Z dropped his first album in 96. I went to go see a Jay-Z concert in Oregon, Portland. And I'm like, how are you still rapping? How are you still rapping and still relevant? And Kobe played for 20 years. Kobe got drafted in 96. Kobe left the league in 2015. So we'll say 19 seasons. Whatever. Like, whatever. Who's counting? Oh, I am, because we're talking about numbers. I digress. Anyway, and so I'd compare those two because I feel like with Jay-Z, there's the Black Album is the middle point. And I want to say that Kobe Bryant's Black Album is like, let's say it's the summer when he changed from 8 to 24. Now, we'll say that because on both ends, you got two different types of individuals. On one end, we got the Kobe Bryant, the glitz, the glamour, the Shaq, the Phil Jackson, the three-peat. We went and got Karl Malone. We got all these people, Karl Malone. We went and got Gary Payton. All these people, all these championships. Like, that's what they did. They got all these ex-Bulls. You got Ron Harper. We got Horace Grant, ex-Lakers. You got, another ex-Bull. You got John Sally. We got old Lakers, AC Green, Derek Fisher. That's Tyronn Lue. He used to be a Laker. And we got this whole squad. They win a three-peat. They're smashing everybody. Shaq playing half the season or whatever, right? And I feel like that's like the reasonable doubt, Life and Times, Money Cash, Jay-Z, Blueprint 1, Blueprint 2, like all the glitz, you know? Then we have the Black Album, which is when I want to say everything ended. Like Shaq left, Phil left, it's just Kobe there by himself. Like basically in for the most part, I want to say a slight hiatus, right? Post Black Album, we got Kingdom Come, we got American Gangster, we got Blueprint 3, we got Magna Carta, we got 444. That's 6 more albums. And I want to say they all went platinum except for Kingdom Come. And I want to say the 81 Point Game is probably Blueprint 3, right? And so we got these two halves of this illustrious career. And I feel like that's the best comparison to Kobe Bryant. If you have a favorite rock band or rapper or artist and they've been in the game for 20 years and they took like a slight hiatus and came back, I think that speaks a lot to Kobe Bryant's career. Always been great, weathered storms, changed his game, had to adapt, had to readjust. Future Hendrix talks a lot about saying he had to reinvent. So when it comes to reinvention, I feel like Kobe did that great. Kobe went from high flying, banging on everybody, to like concentrating more under the rim and getting these young boys up in the air. Like pump fake, jab step, pump fake, jab step, which is, he has some of the most remarkable footwork that I'm going to say that I've ever seen. I mean, what I say his footwork is colder than MJ's. I'm not going to go there. I haven't seen enough MJ footwork, but I know the way Kobe would get people in the air. Like I've seen Kobe create the whole pump fake and jump in you thing that people do. Kobe does that in a way that it doesn't look tacky. When Kobe does it, it looks incredible. When these other guys do it, pump fake and jump into somebody that's in the air, no. When Kobe does it, it looks like it wasn't on purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and say, again, I'm not one to say that he's better than MJ. I would never say that because a bunch of old heads would come for me. They would find me, they'd hunt me down, and they would make me get a Michael Jordan tattoo on my face. I'm just saying that Kobe Bryant's career, I want to say Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James are all very unique. And even though Kobe Bryant completely manifested everything that came to him by basically copying MJ and saying he wanted to be basically the carbon copy of MJ, he's still individually and uniquely Kobe Bryant in his own way. He's far from Jordan because I want to say when it comes to Michael Jordan, again, I've never spoken to MJ, but I've seen more Kobe interviews than I have seen MJ interviews just because I feel like I'm more, just because of my age. I want to say Kobe has more of a basketball only, what's the word? a basketball only competitive feel. Like, I feel like when Kobe is like hanging out and just being himself, I think he's probably a really fun person to like be around. Not really fun, because I'm not really fun. But versus MJ, we heard these stories about him getting like angry on the golf course and like just always having to win and everything, like wearing his own whistle, like wearing his own whistle when he plays pickup games, like so he can call his own fouls, things like that. Punching people in practice, going to Bobcats practices and just letting people know that like they can get it whenever they need it, like whenever need be. He'll show up there and just give Kemba Walker the business just because he can for no reason. But I feel like Kobe's competitiveness is focused like so harshly towards basketball. He's like, you know what? I don't want to leave a Laker. I'm always going to be a Laker, always 100%. And that's why I think he was able to leave when he was able to leave. He said, you know what? I'm not good at this anymore. And I'm not here for fun. I'm here to be dominant. And if I can't be dominant, I don't want to be here anymore, which is why he said in that press conference, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't. My legs hurt. I'm tired. I don't want to get up and do it. It's not. I'm literally not going to play for the love of the game because I love it so much. I mean, they say that you love it so much you don't want to disrespect it, but I truly think in a competitive nature, if you want to do something, you want to dominate. You want to be good at it. And if you can't dominate, you're not going to do it for fun. And they both go hand in hand. Being outstandingly good at something goes hand in hand with being fun. I'll give you an incredible example. I was in Portland. I told you guys, and my brother was like, yo, they have an open mic. You should do it. And I was like, no, I'm not ready. He was like, no, just go up there and just freestyle. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I want to do it and be good at it. It would be fun to go up and crack jokes because, as you guys know, I'm hilarious. But if I'm not prepared, if I can't dominate, then it's not going to be fun for me. So with this, I say, bye, Kobe Bryant. We'll miss you, B. And I personally think that you are the most influential basketball player of my generation. I don't really know what my generation is, and the only reason I say that is because you're done playing basketball now. I don't know what LeBron's going to do when he's done, because I only base things on people that are done, right? So that whole like MJ to LeBron comparison all the time, it's silly, because their games are so many years apart, and LeBron's not done. But for Kobe to be done, I'm going to say he's the most influential, probably because he played for over 2/3 of my lifetime. It could be that. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I get back, I may continue to let you Kobe stans really, really enjoy me saying Kobe's the greatest because the Kobe stans love this. Or I'm going to talk about Jabari Parker's injury and Joel Embid's injury and Steph Curry's injury. Which one sounds more exciting? I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and when I get back, we'll do that. Sit tight. Don't go anywhere.
Are you looking for the very best NFL and college football podcast? Then check out the GSMC Football Podcast. Get the latest football news both on and off the field. From the NFL Draft to trades to the rumor mill to the NFL Combines, they got you covered. That's GSMCpodcast.com/football-podcast. Get updates on college rivalries, game day insights, and much, much more. It's football talk the way you want it. This show eats, sleeps, and breathes football. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast with your favorite host, Ryan Holloway, presented on the GSMC Podcast Network. I struggled with this comparison I made a little bit earlier, where I was comparing, like, I guess number 8 Kobe to like I want to say pre-Black Album Jay-Z. Let's say like pre-Black Album Jay-Z, and versus like number 24 Kobe, which is post Black Album. When I say post, I mean after Black Album, like after retirement. Because I want to say retirement of number 8, because Kobe retired number 8 Jay-Z's retirement was Black Album. I was trying to compare it like, okay, so would the number 24 and 2 championships, what exactly would it be? And I want to say that, I mean, as a fan, right? Like, I loved the Kingdom Come was good. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world. American Gangster was incredible. I don't know if you didn't hear that or not, but American Gangster was a solid album. But when Blueprint 3 came out and they had Run This Town on there, and I mean, just don't even make me have flashbacks to Blueprint 3. Blueprint 3, Forever Young. Let me stop. So I feel like Run This Town, Blueprint 3, that was Kobe Bryant's 81 points. That's what I want to say. I'm going to say that. Then we got Magna Carta, and it just didn't stop. And they showed us we could still do it. When after those 3 championships, I think people were kind of doubting Kobe, like Shaq left, all right, whatever. And after Black Album, we're like, all right, Jay-Z probably can't rap anymore. It's a wrap. Like, he's done. It's a done deal. But they both held it down for 20 summers, and we all appreciate that. We genuinely do. My only problem is this. Here's my only problem with you guys, not you all as my staff, record label, and crew. My only problem is the Kobe stans. And when I say stans, I'm referring to Eminem had a song a while ago. It was about a fan named Stan who wrote him like he was basically an obsessive fan that ended up doing some harmful things to himself. And so stans, I mean, I'm going to say they're fanatics, not just fans, but fanatics, even though fan is short for fanatic. Don't be a jerk right now. Just let me get through this sentence, okay? The Kobe stans have to convince me. They have to convince me to love Kobe. And it's crazy because I love Kobe Bryant. Like, it's his game's great. He's a different type of person. Like, I'm not gonna say he's like anybody else. It doesn't seem like he's trying hard. People say he's corny, but I just think he's weird. I think he's just he's an eccentric individual. If you speak to him, I think he'd have really very interesting things to say. Sometimes people call people corny or weird, they don't understand, but I think him being individualistic is great. So I like Kobe a lot, right? Mamba mentality. I think his nickname's corny. I will say that. Sorry, I lied. Black Mamba is the corniest nickname in the history of nicknames. There, I said it. So but I don't need to be convinced to like Kobe fans. I need you guys to calm down. I need you guys to just settle down a little bit. Like, no one needs you guys to like march in the street. We don't need that. We're okay. Everyone that isn't a Laker fan is okay with Kobe being great. Like, you guys need to settle down. It's fine. And you know who's usually the Kobe stands? It's the LeBron haters. It's everyone that's like, LeBron can't make free throws. LeBron loses in the finals. LeBron's hairline. LeBron switched teams. It's all those people that seem to have like the biggest problem with a lot of us not having like Kobe's name tattooed on our forehead. So with that, I say, Kobe's awesome. His fans are interesting people. I will say that. So bye, Kobe. We'll miss you, B. If you do decide to come back, I don't know what we're going to do because I have a feeling that the Lakers rushed your number ceremony to be like, yo, we got to get this number up because we already got LeVar in here causing problems. If Kobe feel like, hey, y'all just letting people just walk around talking and giving advice? I'm trying to get on. We got to get the jersey up quick. Get it up quick. They hung the jerseys up and they retired both so that they couldn't retire 24 and Kobe say, hey, I could still play because y'all didn't retire number 8, so I can still run it, right? And they didn't retire number 8 because vice versa. So we're going to retire both numbers. That way, if he tries to come back, we're good. Like, he won't try to do nothing. He can't wear 33 that he wore in high school because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wore 33, so we're good. We just got to hang both these jerseys up, then we got to worry about it no more. Then it's done. Then that's it. So, I mean, we'll miss you, Kobe Bryant. This is where we're at. Speaking of, like, this is the complete antithesis of like longevity. We got Joel Embid is hurt. Steph Curry's gonna be out another week, and luckily we do have Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker was drafted by the Bucks in 2014 behind Jahlil Okafor. I'll get to that in a minute. But Joel Embiid has a back injury, right? And it's like, okay, so he's hurt. It's not like his knees or anything, even though backs are a big deal. His back is sore. So hopefully it's just a sore thing because the back is no joke. I can't imagine being an NBA player dealing with the back injury because I'm a regular person. I'm not regular at all. I'm sorry. I'm outstanding. I am a non-NBA player that has dealt with multiple back injuries, and not even back injuries, just pulling it, like grabbing a towel or like eating a jelly bean, hurting my whole back. It's ridiculous. So I couldn't imagine like running up and down the court, being 7 foot, dunking on people, scoring 24 buckets a game, and then having to worry about my back being sore. It seems ridiculous. So I hope Joel Embid gets better. Without him, so he didn't travel with the team to go to the Bulls game, and the Sixers lost to the Bulls. Now, if you guys don't know about the Bulls, it's not because they're not good and they don't have Michael Jordan or Derrick Rose or I don't know, Jalen Rose. It's not because you don't not know about them because they don't have any big names. The reason you don't know about them is because they're terrible. Like the Bulls right now are not good at all. They're 9-20. Like they don't have double digit wins, and it's about to be 2018. So they're not very good at all. So if you lose to them, you may want to reevaluate life, start asking questions, look off into the universe, ask why you're here, ask why you exist, things like that. They lost to the Bulls. That was a thing. It was only by 2 points though. So no big deal, right? No big deal. But then when Joel Embid was expected to be back, guess what they took that next L to? I'm gonna let you guys guess. I'll let you guys guess. Go ahead. No, you can't guess? I'm sure you guessed. It's the Kings. They took an L to the Kings. They held that L, grasped that L, and then loved that L. It was something beautiful. And guess who made some appearances? We hopped in a time machine. We got Zach Randolph and got Vince Carter on the mic. Vince Carter hit a go-ahead 3 to basically seal the game, and Zach Randolph had 27 buckets. Now, Zach Randolph and Vince Carter are both in their 30s. Zach Randolph is actually 36 years old, and Vince Carter is 35. They're old enough to the point where some of the players that they play with were not even basketball players. No, they weren't even wearing basketball shorts yet when these guys were playing. So I think it's pretty when I say that's like true veteran leadership, right? So a lot of teams say we got to get veteran leadership, and they get someone who has just been wandering around the league for 1,000 years, who isn't really someone that anyone would look up to. But with Zach Randolph leading the team with 15 buckets and 7 boards, and then Vince Carter being basically an OG that could still hit jumpers and threes, he might get a dunk every once in a while. I think that's true veteran leadership, and it seems like those players actually appreciate that. The problem is if you're losing to the Bulls and losing to the Kings, I'm going to say that says a lot about Joel Embid. Now, Joel Embid is, let's say, he's obviously a beast, right? Obviously. He averages 24 and 11. That's his contribution. So one would assume that without him it'd be an issue. And don't get me wrong, they lost both games by only a few points. When they lost to the Kings, they lost by 6. When they lost to the Bulls, they lost by 2. The thing is this, one thing that's really underrated about players like Joel Embid, this double-double we look at, double-double, we see that all the time. 24 and 11, we say double-double, but it's a sexy double-double. It's not 10 and 10. It's 24 and 11. The thing that isn't counted very often is how many of those rebounds are defensive, and his blocks per game. His blocks per game and defensive rebounds, they all change the flow of the game. And so it's not just about, the Sixers are missing 24 points, right? It's not, they're missing 11 rebounds. No, they're missing the blocks and the presence of him existing. Because Ben Simmons is 6'10" and he's a point guard that's 6'10", he's not someone that's just down low on the block that's a presence in the middle. When Joel Embid is not there, it's like not having a bus parked in front of your house while someone is throwing rocks at it. He's literally a big deal, pun intended, for real. So I think it does say a lot about the Sixers they lost to some teams they're not the best teams. They lost to I'm gonna say bad teams. They lost to some bad teams, right? And there's 2 ways to look at this. They're in trouble without him, or they're not in so much trouble without him. Because if they can play cohesively as a team to still keep it close without him, then I'm going to say that's a good thing. However, when you can't beat the Bulls, when you can't beat the Bulls, I'm going to say it's a problem. I want to say that just because I don't really think if Joel Embiid was there, Joel Embiid would let the Bulls just have 117 points. I don't think he'd be okay with that. I feel like Joel Embiid in his whole, in his body, like in his body, I feel like he wouldn't be okay with that. And he'd be like, yo, they're not going to score more than 90 tonight. I'm not going to have it. I'm not having it. So just his presence alone, like being there, I feel like would make the Bulls say, you know what? I don't even really think that I don't think we can get 80 tonight. We got to play against Joel Embid. Yeah, nah, man, I'm cool. I'm good, y'all. I don't want to participate. So I'm going to say this injury thing is not a big deal because it's a slight back soreness, and I hope that Joel Embiid bounces back. If he doesn't, then they're going to be in some trouble. Not real trouble though, because this is their first year being really good. So it's not. I don't want to say I don't want to say it's like it's a massive problem. Like it's their first year being really good, and if he can't play, if he's out for a minute, that's fine. But that's why they got him on that whole minute restriction thing, right? So we got you on the minute restriction. Not really something to worry about. We're not going to be concerned about it. And I guess they'll probably just nurse him back. And it's good. I think it's good for the Sixers to play a little bit without him anyway, just to like not become so reliant upon him. I was telling you guys a minute ago that Joel Embiid wouldn't have let the Bulls get 117 points. And prior to the Bulls having 117, they did score 115 against Milwaukee. But other than that, they haven't broken 110 in since. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Wow. Yeah. Wow. No, those are losses. That last time they broke 110 was in OT against Charlotte, scoring 119. So Joel Embiid's defense is something that I'm gonna say is very underrated. And we only talk about people's offense until we get to playoffs. And once we get to playoffs, everyone's a defensive expert. Like, oh my, the way he plays D. Like the Pistons when they were really good a while ago. Like, oh, their defense. But before it was like, they don't even score any points. How are they going to win the championship? Next thing you knew, they let the Lakers have it. Same thing with football. Oh, their offense. They don't put up enough buckets. And we get to like week 13, everyone's a defensive expert. That's how it goes. I do find it interesting that they're not allowed to rest players anymore, but the coaches have kind of finessed it where it's like, hey, you know what? We're gonna let you sit out just a little bit longer because you just may not be ready yet. Maybe you can sit out another day or so just because you're injured, which I would do too, right? So because they did this thing where okay, players can't rest, or if they rest for these games, they get fined or whatever. I feel like if someone's injured, then you might as well take full advantage of it. Just like Steph Curry. They say he's probably going to need another week. Like, he's still a little sore. He's going to need another week. We're not 100% sure if he should bounce back so fast. So we're going to just let him sit for another week or so. The Warriors have won all 5 games while Steph has been gone. If he's gone for another week or so, right, he's going to miss 3 more games. Apparently, if he's gone, I believe he's going to get back right in time for the Christmas game or not in time for the Christmas game. I don't think the NBA is having that. The NBA isn't going to let Steph Curry sit out on Christmas. They're not going to do that. It's not something that the NBA is interested in having. Even though when they said he's out for the next 3 would include Christmas. I'm not sure if Adam Silver is going to let something like that happen. In my opinion, if I got to ask Adam Silver about it, he'll probably say no. But this is why you get other great players on your team. Because if your star goes down, if your MVP goes down, you win 5 games while they're gone versus them being out. And let's say you lose to the Bulls and the Kings. But for those of you that are like, oh, well, they have Kevin Durant and it's unfair, blah, blah, blah. Well, if they didn't have Kevin Durant, let's say they would have lost 5 straight games. Then what? Steph Curry comes back, has to play harder, gets hurt again? No. Not having a competitive competitive advantages for the birds. We don't do that. That's not how things work. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and when I get back, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about competitive advantages. Be right back.
Check out the show that's built on the MMA. From the UFC to extreme cage fighting, they got the fights covered. Check out the GSMC MMA podcast. Get the latest news on past or upcoming fights. Join us as we talk to and about some of the biggest names in the MMA, past, present, and future. When it's the fight game, there's just one show to check out. GSMCpodcast.com/MMA-podcast. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast with your favorite host, Ryan Holloway, presented on and by the GSMC Podcast Network for all of your podcasting needs. I'll just tell you guys about Steph Curry's going to be gone for about another week or so, so just calm down. Everything's going to be okay. He'll be out another week because the Warriors going to be doing fine without him. He twisted his ankle in New Orleans a minute ago, and he's just going to need some time off, which is fine. He may not even need the time off, but because the NBA players aren't really allowed to like rest anymore, I feel like coaches are taking full advantage of that, right? So if someone gets a little injury, like, oh, you got to hang now? All right, you know what? We're just going to probably just sit out till March. We'll probably just have you just rest you, and then we'll rehab you back in, and we'll just see where it goes from there. And yeah, so if I'm coaches, I'm taking full advantage of it too. It's silly that you can't rest players anymore. But what I found out was that, I mean, I kind of guessed this, and I'm not going to pat myself on the back for being right, but I say Kevin Durant was averaging 27 points per game because that's just what it would seem like he'd be averaging. He's averaging 26.5. His career is 27.2. So 26, 27, basically 7 rebounds and 4 assists, which is great, right? Because Steph goes down, Kevin Durant takes more shots. It's completely okay. And it's also a good thing because Kevin Durant just being around him, he doesn't have like a, let's not say the motive operandi of being a defensive stopper per se for like his whole career, but him just being 6'11" and just being in the middle somewhere, it's always helpful. I mean, on Monday he got banged on badly by Kyle Kuzma of the Lakers, but that's okay because sometimes you get dunked on. Kevin Durant has dunked on a whole bunch of people, and I'm just happy to see him jumping. That's fine. I'm just happy to see someone being that tall and jumping. Because to just walk away or like high or do a little 1-2 jump thing or put your hand up, I don't want to see that. I don't want to. He jumped. The bangery happened, and it's fine. Lakers bench went wild. Warriors said scoreboard, and that was it. Like that's basically how it all happened. Because right now, Showtime's primary concern is being Showtime. You like how I did that? Did you like that? Because I hope so, because I worked really hard on it. I didn't. I'm just that clever. So the Warriors are going to be fine. Actually, that game on Monday night, like on the whole retiring of Kobe Bryant's jersey, retiring of his jerseys. KD went for 36. Kuzma had 25. And it actually went into overtime. It was a pretty solid game. I don't know if the NBA set that up on purpose like that for it to be an overtime game. I'm just, don't take that seriously. I didn't really mean the NBA set anything up. Calm down. But it was a good game though. I actually recommended you guys watch that game. It was the game of the night. And if you didn't watch it, again, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in you for not following my advice as far as what to watch, but I will say that it doesn't make me very happy to know that you missed this game. So Kevin Durant had 36 buckets, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. So as we like to say, he flirted with a triple-double. The Warriors the Warriors only beat them by 2 points, which kind of concerns me, just because they shouldn't only be beating the Lakers by 2 points. I mean, it was Kobe's night. There was a lot of ampedness in the building. A lot of people were there. Allen Iverson was there. Like, there was a lot of energy in the building. People probably want to see the Lakers win really bad. The Lakers were probably amped up for it, but beating the Lakers by 2, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure. I know Steph isn't there. I know Durant's got to work his tail off, but I feel like that shouldn't be that difficult to do. I'm not going to hate on it, though. I mean, Steph needs to take all the rest that he needs to take. It's fine. Bounce back. He's rehabbing and all that. Speaking of rehabbing, do you guys remember Jabari Parker? No? Okay. Do you remember Jahlil Okafor? He used to play for the Sixers. Now he's on the Brooklyn Nets. No? Okay. So Jahlil Okafor was I think one of the first draftees in the whole Sixers trust the process thing. He went first, and Jabari Parker went second to the Bucks. Jabari Parker is a 6'8" forward. He's dealt with some injuries here and there. Last season he played 51 games before he got injured. He averaged 20 buckets a game. The Bucks are up and coming, as we know. We talk about this all the time. They got Bledsoe, they got Giannis. They're ready. Like, we don't have to. Everyone knows the Bucks are coming. They're not very loud like Porzingis and the Knicks, because I mean, they're the Knicks and people really want them to be good. They're not as loud as Philly, because Joel Embid has an outstanding, ostentatious, outspoken personality. So we don't really hear a lot about the Bucks, because Giannis isn't like yelling at people after dunking on them. Not that I have a problem with that, because I like when people have a little bit to say. One thing I want to talk about within Jabari Parker's return basically is his optimism. It seems like for someone that has like dealt with injuries basically like since he's been drafted, he seems really optimistic about it. It sounds like he's coming back kind of slow. He's practicing with the G League team, and my only concern about him practicing with the G League team is like, even he's really positive about himself coming back, so he said he's holding up really good. Basketball is a sanctuary. He also said he's at the end of the tunnel and he's seeing the light and it looks very nice. So he's all for it. Like, he has a really positive attitude, and like reading this stuff, and nothing that I read within what he was saying said that he's in like a rush to be back. And it seems like when players are in like a rush to be back mentally, it sounds like they're not quite set up for like the best success. I feel like when you're injured, this is the best time to trust the process, and just trust the process, trust the rehab until you're confident. Apparently the Bucks are doing fine. They don't necessarily need you right now. So I say you just hang out. The best thing you can do, it seems like, is get hurt on a team that's good. Not in football, because they can replace you in 6 seconds, but in basketball, if you're good, it's guaranteed money anyway. Like the Celtics, there's really no rush for Gordon Hayward to come back, because they're fine. There's no rush for Steph Curry to come back. They're fine. Jabari Parker, there's no rush for him to come back. Giannis is balling. Jabari's like, all right, well, I'm trying to show up and get it in. My only problem with him practicing, I guess I get it that he's practicing in the G League team, which is, that's the developmental team for the Milwaukee Bucks. My only problem with that is this. Now, the players on the G League team, like, they're trying to make it to the NBA, I would assume. Like, they're on a hunt. Like, they're trying to get drafted. They're trying to make a name for themselves. Is it the best thing to have, like, your player practicing with the G League players? Because I got a feeling, because here's the thing. The G League team is called the Wisconsin Herd, okay? They actually have tryouts. Like, they have actual tryouts to go play. So I'm not saying anyone can go play. You obviously need like an invite or something, but you're playing with anybody and you're going to go and just have them just practice with them. I have a feeling that you're going to have people out there trying to make a name for themselves. And this isn't the way in like the NBA where it's like, oh, people are coming for Lonzo because his dad talks a lot. No. I don't really believe that, because you play 82 games, and to get up against the Lakers, who have a losing record because their point guard's dad talks a lot of trash, I think it's a complete waste of your energy. You're playing the Warriors tomorrow, and tonight you have the Lakers, and you're like, oh, I'm going to get up against Lonzo because it's dad. No, it's dumb. You already made it where you're at. But in the G League, though, you're like, oh, Jabari Parker, okay. They keep talking about he's going to come back. He's been in the league for 3 years. He ain't did nothing. I'm better than him. I got cut. I remember we went to the same high school, and I got cut for him, 9th grade. I'm so hot. Watch when I see him. Watch when I play G League. And some guy who has a vendetta can't wait to dunk on Jabari Parker. What happens? Somebody gets hurt. There's a tussle. Someone trying to make a name for themselves. I mean, maybe the Bucks practices are just that wild to the point where he can't play in the Bucks practices because, like, yo, we go too hard in here. You're recovering from injury, so we can't have you out here with your teammates. Maybe Bucks practices are just that wild. The Bucks practices are so wild that they have to have him practicing with the rec league players. Now, maybe the rec league players practice isn't really that hard, but I would assume if you're trying out for something, like you're not on a 10-day contract, you're not on a 1-month contract, you're not on a 5-hour contract, you're on a today contract. Like, yo, you could try out today and we'll let you know how we feel in 15 minutes. Okay, blow the whistle, boop, boop, and you got to go home. It hasn't been 15 minutes. Yeah, we know, but we just got a feeling it's not going to work out. You have people that are dealing with that type of stuff, right? And you're going to have Jabari Parker trying to rehab out there with them? I don't know about that. I'm not sure if that's the best idea. Maybe I should go have him try out. Maybe I should go have him practice with the Bulls or practice with the Kings. Like some teams are losing and they're not going to try, but they're not trying to make a name for themselves anymore. Have him practice with have him practice at Wisconsin U. Do something like that. But the G League, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, guys. I don't know. Not 100% sure. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a quick break, and then when I get back, I'm going to give you guys the game of the night, the pick of the night. I'm going to tell you what happened in the NBA about 20 years ago. Be right back.
Check out the show built around the women of MMA. From the UFC to the extreme cage fighting, we got the fights covered.
Listen.
It's the Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast. The latest news of upcoming fights, discussions of previous matches. Join us as we talk to and about the biggest names in women's mixed martial arts. Past, present, and future. When it's the women's fight game, you know where to listen to. The Golden State Media Concepts Women's MMA Podcast.
Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast with your host, your favorite host, your best, your absolute 100 favorite voice to hear when you listen to podcasts, me, Ryan Holloway. Presented by and on the GSMC Podcast Network for all of your podcasting needs. I'm going to do something new for you guys today, right? Check this out. Usually what I do a game of the night and I do a pick of the night, and that's how I end the show. But today I'm going to tell you what happened on this day probably several years ago. I was going to do 20 years, but I couldn't find anything awesome that happened 20 years ago. Nothing that you really would like. So it's going to be usually be like 10 years or 11 years. It'd be a long time ago, but it'd be this day. So you can say, oh, that really happened. I forgot that happened. So one thing we were talking about a while ago was the the famous, most outstanding, most incredible Kobe Bean Bryant. In 2005, so this was about 12 years ago. 12 years ago today, Kobe Bryant scored 62 points in 3 quarters against the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks had 61 points total, making this the only time a player had done this through 3 quarters since the advent of the shot clock. Now, Kobe Bryant is he's an outstanding scorer. And I had a conversation with a good friend the other day, and I was telling them about how I was like, yo, Kobe scored 81 points. And I was like, probably the closest person to doing that's going to get to that is Devin Booker, because he goes off sometimes. And my Kobe stan friend, like, vehemently refused that it's ever going to happen again. This man told me that's never going to happen again. No one's ever going to pass that. Maybe in the year 3000, but not in our lifetime. Are you serious? So, and this is why I can't speak to Kobe stans. Like, I'm not saying anyone's going to be better. I'm not saying the guys Devin Booker's going to be better than Kobe. I'm just saying when I saw Devin Booker's 70-point game, the way they were feeding him the rock and the shots he missed, I think there's room for 81. Just like when Kobe scored 81, Kobe watching it was like, you know what, I think I could have probably got to 100. There's a room where there's different places where I could have hit it. And I feel like, why not? I mean, in this one game, Kobe scored 62 points in 3 quarters. In another game, he ended up scoring 81. So, I mean, why can't why can't Devin Booker score 81? Like, it's only 5 more shots. I mean, it's if that, right? It's 3 3-pointers and a layup. So it's doable. So this time a while ago, Kobe scored 62. Funny how, like, years later, not even years later, but I want to say a couple months after that, that's when he scored 81. Let them boys have it. Something else had happened. This is, you guys are going to like this. This was 40 years ago? No, this was 41 years ago. 41 years ago. Can you guess what happened? This is going to be interesting because I don't even know if some of you guys even know what this is. There was so OKC wasn't always OKC. There used to be a team in Seattle. And December 20th, 1966, Seattle was named the 11th franchise in the NBA. Approximately 1 month later, the team was named the Seattle Supersonics, the result of a local contest won by Howard E. Schmidt. And I didn't know that the Supersonics were that old. Like, I had no idea. And now I feel kind of bad that they lost their team. I thought the Supersonics were like one of those expansion teams, like the Orlando Magic or the Hornets or the Wizards. Yeah. I thought they were like one of those new expansion teams that were like that. They just kind of just made up. I mean, even the Heat haven't been around that long, right? But knowing that the Supersonics were like the 11th franchise and they had to move, that makes me kind of sad. I didn't know that. I had no idea. So they moved, and they were basically moved to Oklahoma and changed to the Oklahoma City Thunder because of the thunderstorms that Oklahoma has, and the rest is history. Did you guys know that at one point Westbrook and Durant both were Seattle Supersonics? Did you know that? Can you name any Seattle Supersonics, by the way? Like, just think about it. Everyone should know like one Supersonic. Everyone should know at least one. If you watch basketball, you should know at least one Supersonic. And if you don't, shame on you. Shame. No? Can't name any? All right, look, here you go. We got Gary Payton. We got Sean Kemp. We got Detlef Schrempf. We got Nate McMillan. We got Rashard Lewis, Ray Allen. That's enough. That's enough Supersonics. So yeah, the Supersonics were a team once, and they actually went to the finals, and they lost to Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan stopped a whole bunch of great players from getting rings. You know, Gary Payton ended up getting one from the Heat, but he could have had one in the 90s, but MJ said no. Just like he said no to Karl Malone, he said no to John Stockton, he said no to Charles Barkley, he said no to Dan Marley. Michael Jordan said, no. You can't have any. No rings for you, for any of them. So that's where we're at with that right now. I'm going to give you guys 2 picks. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a game of the night and give you guys a pick of the night. The game of the night is going to be, drum roll please, it's going to be Spurs versus Blazers. This is basically a playoff preview, 2 classic teams that I like a lot. We got Damian Lillard averaging 25. We got LaMarcus Aldridge averaging 24. It's going to be a playoff preview. If you guys aren't watching Dame Lillard, you guys got to start watching him play. He's great. Awesome player. Mega game. Not scared to shoot the rock. He reminds me a lot of Allen Iverson. Our pick of the night is going to be, drum roll please, OKC -7 against the Jazz. I feel like I want to say the odds makers are undervaluing OKC, and no, they're undervaluing Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is out for the Jazz again, and without him, they're not very good. I feel like OKC's going to smack them by 10. If you don't like that game, you can go ahead and take not the Bulls, but who was playing the Bulls? Let me check. Give me a second. It was the Bulls game Drum roll, please. Oh, Orlando Magic +5 at the Bulls. Don't let the Magic's record fool you. They're actually pretty good. They're a solid defensive team. Enjoy those. You guys like that a lot. I'm going to be taking some time off for the holidays, so I will be back. I'll be back on Wednesday, and I'll talk to you guys about our Wednesday games. Not Wednesday games, the Christmas games. Because the Christmas game slate, as I was telling you a little bit earlier, it's going to be nice. I hope we're going to enjoy it. There's going to be at least 2 epic games out of those 5. Again, we got Philly, New York, Cleveland, Golden State, Washington, Boston, Houston, OKC, Minnesota versus the Lakers. I feel like the best one is going to be Philly versus New York just because of Embiid and Porzingis. I really want to see that. I feel like it should be pretty cool to watch that game. With that, I'm going to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. I will miss you probably just as much as you're going to miss me. And let's see. I wanted to tell you guys one more thing. Oh, yeah. If you want to go buy me a gift, pants size 36, 32, shirt size large, outerwear, peacoat size extra large. You guys know where to find me. At GSMC_basketball. With that, I wish you guys happy holidays, Merry Christmas, live long, prosper, and watch your paddles. You could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Basketball Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.